Somebody's in trouble. Yo, what's the deal? It's your player partner, Bobby Double Yay J. And today, I got something to say. The topic of discussion today is going to be this degenerate, this imposter, this individual who has severe insecurities and is going through an identity crisis. He think he's a vato loco when he's just a regular old N-word. So what we're going to do, we're going to get into some content, because this sapsucker mother, this says some very offensive things, very derogatory and highly controversial things towards African-American males. He made a blanket statement. He made a generalization that African-American males are predators. Not only did he make this allegation, these accusations against Black males, he came with the narrative that the Caucasian man came with when they was releasing those silent films and it was programming people to be afraid of Negroes, and they have a Caucasian guy crawling up out of the bush like a rabid beast, and his face is painted black, and he just got to get that white PUSSY, got to get his hands on that white PUSSY. Even if these white folks hang me from a tree, I just got to get my hands on some of that white PUSSY, even if it results in my death. That's what he painted us as, rabid beasts who has a severe thirst in a perverted fetish for Chicana females. And he gave an example that he knew allegedly 2 guys who were turned down by a Hispanic Chicana or a Hispanic female, and these dudes resorted to raping her in the alley. He continuously used generalization terms that generalize and categorize and classify all Black males in one category, one group. But are you not Black? Do the Afro-Panamanians not experience racism from the Panamanian government? The lighter complected Latinos, Chicanos, well, Panamanians are not Chicano, but the Latinos, the Hispanics down in Panama, they deal with racism too from the lighter complexion Hispanics. But you got this cocksucker that want to come on here and disrespect our Blackness just because he has taken on a stance of being a servant. He has adapted and adopted a form of servitude. This motherfucker's a slave. Nigga, we being free. What's wrong with you? So we gonna see how do the mass majority of Latinos, Chicanos, Cholos look at their Black members. Let's get into that. The first clip that I'm gonna be sharing with you is from an individual by the name of Sonny. And Sonny let it be known he do not fuck with Blacks at all. He don't like. He don't even like Black Soranios. But don't take it from me. Let's take it from some Soranios that have lived through it and who were some of the root causes for racism amongst Blacks in the Soranio movement in their organization. Let's get into it, man. See, that motherfucking sapsucker motherfucker, he didn't pick the right one. You done picked the right one, baby. We gonna run content on your bitch ass. We gonna expose you for being the insecure young man that you are. The motherfucker that was suffering from an identity crisis. I got footage of Soranio saying that you was a blood, that you was down with the Paquema 5 rules, homie. Said it so. But let's get into this content. Here we go right here. Don't sneeze, don't cough. This is a different one. Forgive me, but wait, yeah, fuck it. Let's check this one out, cuz.
In prison that can be broken, homie. Like, there's sometimes that you may do certain things and try to get away with it or whatnot, but you can't just blatantly just show disrespect by being like fuck the rules and expect no consequences. You know what I'm saying? For example, like me being mixed brought a gang of bullshit to me. You know what I'm saying?
Wait,
Because
wait, wait,
I
wait,
look
wait,
like
wait,
this,
wait,
but
wait,
I
wait.
run with the raza.
Wait.
Brought a gang of bullshit to me. Saying, for example, like me being mixed brought a gang of bullshit to me. You know what I'm saying?
There's interviews out there with his bitch ass Levi by the name of Neil Tazad. He denied racism in the ranks of the Southsiders or the Sureños. He denied it. Oh, it's just about, see, really, it's just about respect. And if you're going there like this, and see, man, shut your bitch ass up. Are the individuals known as Southsiders or Sureños, are they biased towards the black populace who are members of their organization? That's all we want to know. Would they judge you or would they prejudge you with extreme prejudice based on the color of your motherfucking skin? That's what we want to know, you sapsucker turncoat motherfucker. Fuck all that filibustering, equivocating, and doing everything that you can to not outright answer the motherfucking question. Are Sureños or Southsiders prejudiced towards blacks, the mass majority? That's all we want to know. Well, let me not say towards blacks because we know that they dislike blacks, right? Are there prejudice towards the black population, the black populace that's a part of their movement? Are there prejudice towards their black members? Let's hear from a biracial individual who identifies with his mother's side, which is the Spanish side. Let's see what cousin dealt with. Since Neil Tazad want to be a bitch and be a sucker and equivocate and not outright answer the motherfucking question, because then a motherfucker can sit back and say, nigga, you got Stockholm syndrome. Or nigga, you going through an identity crisis. Or nigga, you must be suffering from a severe mental health disorder. To go and join ranks with a motherfucker that always look at you and regard you as a fucking servant. So you subscribe to the ideologies and the thoughts of servitude, because you can never grow within that organization. You will never be able to call shots. You will never be the type of motherfucker that's acknowledged for being an actual big dog or a big homie. So all you can be is a motherfucking foot soldier, no matter how old you get. Now, no matter how much work you put in, no matter none of that shit, all you will ever be in a ranks is a motherfucking boy. Now let's get into the content.
I'm saying, because I look like this, but I run with the raza. You know what I'm saying? Like brown and proud. I got shit tatted on me, Mexican on my back. There's a lot of shit that lets you know who I am, but a lot of motherfuckers just don't want to accept it or just want to like cause tension for me, or they just want to start some shit up with me. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was busted, bro, like homies would come up to me, or blacks would be having a spread or whatnot, and they'll see me, posted up by myself, on the cell phone or something, watching TV. So they'll look over, they might be my neighbor. They're like, hey, black, I already took the black thing, you know what I'm saying? He an OG, I am half black, and it's not like I fucking dislike blacks, bro. It's just rules in motherfucking the jail system. So, I take the black, I'm like, hey.
He doesn't dislike blacks. It's just rules in the fucking jail system. So he's admitting without coming out and blatantly saying that there are rules and protocols that place Sureños and Southsiders in a position to look down on blacks as if blacks are inferior. There's rules and politics and protocol put in place to put animosity in between the Sureños and Southsiders against blacks. He's letting you know what it is. So all you dumb fucks, if it is any racism between us and the man, get your bitch ass out of here. Well, when you're going through those type of places, man, shut your bitch ass up.
What's up, OG? Out of respect, he's like, hey man,
we gonna skip through a little bit of this.
And I'll be like, nah, OG, man, you know what time it is.
A black man is offering a Southsider a burrito. That shows you how welcoming. That shows you how kind. That shows you how benevolent we are as a people. I know that you oppose me, but yet I still want to be kind and bestow some food upon you so you can receive nourishment. Man, ain't we a compassionate people? Ain't we a understanding, benevolent people? Yeah, we are to everybody but our motherfucking selves. See, that's our motherfucking problem. Our strengths is our weaknesses. Being benevolent to everybody and kind to everybody but our motherfucking selves. Being understanding and forgiving to everybody but our motherfucking selves. Tolerating every motherfucker but our motherfucking selves. Inviting and welcoming everybody but our motherfucking selves. Now is the time for you to recognize that the paradigms are shift. And with these paradigms shifting, our mindset got to shift to where we can now be more proactive in being pro-black. It shouldn't be looked at as a crime to be pro-black, especially in the ranks of Crips and Bloods. It shouldn't be something that should be frowned upon in our communities, our hoods, our sets, our turfs to be pro-black and push this blackness. It's not a crime. There's nothing wrong with it. Everybody else pushed their race. Everybody else pushed their kind over any and everybody else but us. Fuck that. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of us as content creators coming to this internet and beefing with each other day in and day out. Nigga, fuck that shit, cuz. You see this bitch ass nigga Neil Tazar came on here and tried to embarrass us with the content that we have released out there to the world. So we gave this motherfucker the ammunition that he needed to try to come on here in front and high sign on us like we all grapists, like we all ex-offenders and all this type of shit. Come on, cuz, we got to get it together, cuz. It's an enemy at the motherfucking door. And if we don't unify inside the house and spread it to the backyard, homie, then our existence is on the motherfucking line. So what we gonna do? Barbecue a meal do it. We gonna fight or we gonna submit? Fuck submit. It's no surrender, no motherfucking retreat. So what the fuck is we doing as a people, cuz? Let's get back into the content, cuz.
Is bro, like if we was in the street, man, shoot that. I'll take it down, G. But I can't have that burrito right now, pero like, what time it is? Come on, G. Like, I know, man, I didn't mean the black thing, man, but just go ahead, G. Ain't nothing wrong with it. We ain't do nothing to it, man. I'm like, oh, G, it ain't even about that play. It's like, you give this to me right now, then motherfuckers ain't gonna like that, bro. I'm gonna have problems. I'm not saying scared to take an ass whooping, but there's no reason to take this ass whooping, G. Like, I don't even know you. I said a story about when my little homie got to the dorm one day, and I shot him some shit, whatever happened. But I looked out for him. He's family to me. You know what I'm saying? And he's full black, he a blood, but he's family to me. So other motherfuckers who don't understand, bro, I be like trying to break it down every different way, and still, bro, they just blocked right here, bro. They're like, nah, bro, you just don't like your black side. I'm like, I love my motherfucking black. I just came from New Orleans, G, like 6 months ago, player, like to just see my whole black side of the family. Pero like, it's something that I didn't do when I was younger, not by choice. It's because my black side of the family was in New Orleans.
Identity crisis. He didn't know who he was. He didn't know his heritage. So being that he didn't know who he was and he didn't know his heritage and he's looking for a place and somewhere to belong, he joined the ranks of the Sureños. To a degree, it's understandable then, but then we all get to a point in place to where we know better. So being that we know better, we have to perform, think, and do better so us as a people can be better. But let's let Cuz finish his chain of thought. Now he's exploring and finding out his roots, his heritage. Remember a few days ago, I was just telling y'all this motherfucker talking about he's a Southsider or a Sureño or a Mexican or Panamanian or this, that, and third. The motherfucker daddy from Mississippi and his goddamn mama from Louisiana. So how the fuck is this motherfucker a Panamanian, a Puerto Rican, a goddamn Cuban, and all this shit that they say that they are in order to fit up under that umbrella comfortably and say, "Oh, dog, I'm Rasa too, fool. I'm just from Panama, or I'm Hispanic, dog. I'm just from Cuba. I'm Cuban." Like, come on, cuz. Stop with the motherfucking charades.
Orleans, homie. And all my family over here in Los was all raza. You know what I'm saying? My mom and dad broke up. That was even fucking he wasn't even in the picture, to black empower me. You feel me? But never once do I feel no type of way, bro. Even to this day, I'm trying to learn more. I've learned
That's
so
right,
much more
cuz.
than what school provided to me and what life provided to me, and I'm proud of that shit. But I run with who I run with in the system, bro. Can't do nothing about that, perro.
That ain't it. We got some more content that we about to share with you, cuz. How do Soranios, how do Southsiders look at blacks that are a part of their organization? Let's get it from a veterano's perspective. I gave it to you from the perspective of an individual who looks or appears to be black or who is black, brown, and he tells you that it's racism amongst their ranks. But let me give it to you from the standpoint of a person who was enforcing these racist stereotypes, beliefs, and systems and chains of thoughts and all this type of shit. And this dude, he don't hide that he don't like blacks. And I respect cuz for that. Let's get into this content, cuz on Crib. Black Soranios and the different booms right here on PJ Crib. This it. I want y'all to check out OG Sonny, the veterano from that big bad 818. Wait, 818, fool. Brother Sonny, let them know how you feel about blacks, whether they're Southsiders or not.
They grew up around Latinos. They, whatever the case is, that they just, whatever reason, they grew up around Latinos. That you got close to in prison. That. Were there any white or black dudes, that you got close to in prison? That just for whatever reason they grew up around Latinos. They, whatever the case is, that they hung out with you guys. And the other part of the question is, do they, how are they treated differently from, to the best of your knowledge, from being in a predominantly Latino gang?
When a Southsider rolls in and he's black, and he's a writer, everybody knows him. You'll know about him before he even hits the system. You heard about him in different counties. You hear about him in the prison system. You'll know about him before somebody would have told you about this guy. You know who they are. There's no hiding it. There's no. When a black Soreno or a black Southside walks on the yard, everybody knows who he is. Every race, everybody does. If he's a writer, there's no disputing it. He's ready to roll. You can see it in him. You can see, and everybody knows about him. Now, I personally never got close with any blacks or white Southsiders. There's much more white Southsiders than there are blacks. The white Southsiders, they grew up with the homies. A lot of them grew up with the homies and know how to program. And
but how you feel about
white,
Sonny?
Sonny? The way they act. I actually knew a couple white Southsiders that were, you would never know they were white. Just the way they acted. But they're not, the homies will eat with them. The homies will program with them, do things with them. Me, if you would have put a black Southsider in my cell, I would have to tell them, hey, homie, all due respect, but you got to leave. I'm not going to eat with them. I'm not going to sell up with them. There are some homies that will, and that seems to be, there's homies that don't. There's homies that won't program with them at all. They won't disrespect them, but at the same time, they're not going to program them. So no matter what they do, there's some blacks that people just won't gravitate to, but that won't happen with the whites.
That won't happen with the whites. I'm going to stop it right there.
Yeah.
Case in point right there. Case in point right there. So this bitch ass nigga ain't even in position to call shots or have a valid say-so in the organization that he's a representative of, but you want to talk about black business. You want to dissect and deconstructively criticize black people. You want to make these general statements about black people. Nigga, you black. The same way that they look at us, majority of them look at you the same motherfucking way. But you want some, what's that nigga name? Carl Bixby, some Baxby or some shit like that. The blind dude from the Chappelle show. that thought he was a white man and all this type of shit. That's what these motherfuckers are suffering from, that Carl Bisbee or whatever the fuck his name is, Baxby syndrome. But that ain't it. I got some more content for you, cuz. I'm going to show you that these motherfuckers don't give two fucks about you, nigga. Because at the end of the day, you still nigga. No matter if you say, hey, dog, I'm Nicaraguan, fool, yeah. Hey, I'm Panamanian. Ain't no fucking Panamanian, nigga. And even if you are Panamanian, the Panamanian government goes to great lengths to suppress, to oppress, and subjugate the black population of Afro-Panamanians down there in Panama. They don't got the same rights as the lighter complexion Panamanians. So you trying to say, hey, I'm Hispanic, and that's why I ride with the Sureños or the Southsiders, because I come from a Hispanic heritage. But where you come from in Panama, they subjugating your people to racist ass leadership. So you bring your naive ass over here, or your parents migrate, immigrate, or whatever the fuck they came over here, right? And you go hook up with the same individual, the same organization to say, hey, we don't fuck with blacks. We don't like blacks. We tolerate them if they're in line. We tolerate them if they put us in a position of superiority. We tolerate them if it pushes and serves our agenda. We tolerate them, but we don't fucking like blacks. And you got the audacity to come on here and use these blanket statements and give a generalization of all black males, and you a black male. We got proof. The proof is always in the motherfucking pudding, baby. The proof is always in the motherfucking pudding, cuz. Let's check this bitch ass nigga out. Let's see what that Asa say about him, cuz. Let's see what that Asa got to say about this fucking weirdo.
A Damu, a blood. Apparently, some people are saying that he was actually from Papuema, Peru.
Say it ain't so, cuz.
I don't know the extent of the trick, but these pictures speak volume, man. You guys are going to trip out on this as I push these out there, man. I have no opinion on it. Some people push the thing for the fame. You know what we call back in the days when you start to switch sides, right?
No, cuz
A ranker, right?
A fucking ranker, yeah.
From one type of particular set, create blood to another.
Listen, I'm not trying to go through that shit. Listen, I don't know the status of these prison channels. I don't know their status. I don't know if they're good, no good, dropouts, whatever. I don't know. Listen, I don't give a fuck. I don't give two fucks. All I know is that they're from the other side. Okay, so no matter what they say, their argument is garbage.
Like a Damu, a blood.
That's what the individuals that you gravitated towards, that's what they feel about you, nigga. Still nigga. Said you from the other side and your opinion doesn't count. This motherfucker named Neil Tazad, right? This motherfucker got high and mighty. Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog. Well, he's a little softer spoken. His accent isn't as like, what's up, dog? Hey, say your fool. His shit ain't that thick, so he's a little more like, because he's on the border. He almost talk like a regular nigga with a slight accent of the Chicano community. So he's a little more like, you know, fool, like more like soft spoken like me, fool. Well, when I was in Sunland Park and this happened, dog, and the homies pulled up, fool. And he goes in and out this fucking fake ass accent. Let's analyze this motherfucker, because it's an identity crisis. He felt rejected. He didn't have very many friends and all this type of shit. And he was looking for somewhere to belong. Hey, blood, where I belong at? You don't belong over here, blood, on Pyru. You weird as a motherfucker. Niggas wasn't fucking with this weird ass nigga. This the thump-the-thumb wearing ass nigga sagging with the thump-the-thumbs on with shit stains in his drawers ass nigga. The blacks weren't fucking with him. They wasn't really embracing him like that. So what he do? He go to the Sureños. They didn't embrace me, dog. All I gotta do is talk like this and say this like this instead of this like this and say this like this. If I talk like this, then you bitch ass nigga. let's dissect this whole ass nigga content because he had a lot of negative shit to say about blacks, right? But I want you to see how mesmerized he is with our culture, our music, our entertainment, our social media influencers, and so on and so forth. Cuz, like Cat Williams said, I don't pay attention to shit that I don't like. I just don't. It doesn't move me. I'm not gravitating towards it because I don't like it. Let's get into this nigga content. Hold on, we gonna run with this because this motherfucker in several different interviews and all that made it seem like it's no racism or prejudice amongst the Sureño ranks, south side of Sureño ranks, like it doesn't exist, and he was just cool and he was fly. But within the same breath, he talk about, yeah, well, there were situations, and I know how to handle things. Like I know, like, yeah, when these type of things go on, like you just can't front off the homie, like. But there's ways to, man, shut your bitch ass up. You didn't even call it the nigger. They didn't spoke in regards to black people by utilizing the derogatory term of nigger, and your bitch ass stood right there and put your head down. They didn't use the word mayate, and your bitch ass and set right there and put your head down. It's no respect for you niggas that go and join rank with them. You would never catch me in at all, homie. You would never catch me in the presence of my Hispanic homies or outside of the presence of my Hispanic homie using derogatory terms to describe or disrespect their people. It's just not happening. Because when my Mexican homies, when they say, hey, listen, I take a vow and I pledge to this PJ Watts Crip shit, hey, we don't see no motherfucking race. You think when I see my Hispanic homies, whether from Mexico, whether from El Salvador, whether from Ecuador, whether from motherfucking Panama, or anything that's considered Hispanic or Latino, you think when I see my homies, I see a Hispanic or a Latino? Fuck no. I see a homie. And for that homie, if he's a righteous homie, no matter what race, color, creed, ethnicity, nationality, I don't give a fuck. If he's a righteous homie, we gonna put it on the line. Let a nigga play with one of my real homies, no matter what the fuck he is. We going up. It ain't no, oh, well, that nigga Mexican, we ain't riding for that nigga. Or that nigga Mexican, we gonna send him on a bunk mission. We gonna have to crash out. Why would we have a homie to crash out, on some bunk shit? Because he's Latino? No, fuck that. He ain't Latino. He PJ Crip. That's what is. The way that we treat and embrace Hispanics, it's like night and day between how they treat blacks in their organizations. Let's get into the content.
Didn't respect that Walter, so I didn't watch his shit. I never really followed the fool in the first place. That's why you'll never hear, if you go on any of my videos, I've never mentioned it, Walter. It's just because I've already known how Walter could be condescending and act as if they're cool, but they're really low-key racist. Now, this particular Walter was like acting as if he understood the plight of the black Southern, like acting as if he understood the plight of the black Southerner and kind of put that narrative out there like nobody, really low-key racist. Now, this particular and act as if they're cool, but they're really low-key racist. Now, this particular was like acting as if he and act as if they're cool, but they're really low-key racist. Now, this particular was like acting as if he understood the plight of the black Southerner and kind of put that narrative out there like nobody liked us. And I'm just gonna dispel that. At the end of the day, you will run into individuals.
Nobody don't like you motherfuckers. The individuals in the organization that you represent, in between 60 to 80%, they don't fucking like you. And they tolerate you because influential homies is what you call them, is because certain influential homies embrace you and fuck with you. But the mass majority don't fuck with you. The whites, they don't fuck with you because you black. And they have went on social media and they done said, the Sureños, they embrace and let anybody join. We don't. Yeah, it can be a black who's a Sureño and we're allies with the Sureños is what the dude was saying. I'm not saying verbatim, I'm paraphrasing. But we're not going to work out with that black. We're not going to spread with that black. If that black is sitting at a table, we're not going to sit at the table with that black. So you stupid fuck, you joined the organization that allow racism to be practiced against you, so you can never really be a real member. All you would ever be is a fucking expendable foot soldier, you dumb fuck. Let's get back into this bitch ass nigga content. And yeah, I'm calling cuz a bitch. This nigga's a bitch. How dare you even muster the audacity to come on here and try to humiliate blacks and use these blanket statements, a generalization of all blacks. Man, you's a motherfucking lie. And I'm gonna tell your bitch ass this, right? And I want all y'all to listen up, cuz on PJ Crib, pay close attention. I knew a dude named Brian Banks. When Brian Banks came to the juvenile hall, Los Padrinos, right? We learning how the politics work and all this type of shit and this, that, and third, cuz. And we got to the point, if you had a 288 on your jacket, we was just gonna fuck you up. Probably 1 or 2 times, let you come back, alienate you, isolate you, not fuck with you. But you can come back. We probably fuck you up 1 or 2 times. But it was this one cat named Brian Bates from out of Long Beach. He caught a great charge. But as I'm talking to this dude to better understand where he was coming from, because he was in a constant state of depression, cuz the look on his face and all this type of shit, homie, it was something about that dude. So I remember having a conversation with him in class and all this type of shit. And he tell me exactly what went down, how the female lied on him, how he never did this. She knew that he had a high probability, he had a high chance of going to the NFL, and she did this, that, and third to derail his career. Not saying she did it intentionally, right? But she was liking on cuz because he was like number 10 in the nation for defense or whatever the fuck. Brian Banks, go watch the movie. He got a movie about his life, just like I got a movie about my life. The Brian Banks story for Brian Banks, Imperial Dreams for Bobby A.A. Jones, right? So I hollered at the homie Seneca from 88 Avalon and a few other reputable individuals that was there with me on ENF, high risk offender unit. So I hollered at them, cuz, and we come to the conclusion that we weren't gonna fuck with cuz. We weren't gonna beat cuz ass. We weren't gonna do nothing to cuz. Cuz it was something about his testimony. It was something about this dude words that convinced me that this motherfucker was innocent. And then, mind you, I'm innocent in that motherfucker. They got me for all these motherfucking robberies that I didn't do. So I knew that the justice system could make mistakes and incarcerate a motherfucker for some shit they didn't do. 10 years later, Brian Banks go down for the grape case. They give him an X amount of time. He paroles in 10 years. The female, feeling remorseful, contacts him. And she apologized. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just scared. My mama was this type of way and whoopty whoop. My mama said I can get paid and this, that, and third. So he finessing her, romanticizing her, and all this type of shit. He go to his attorney and say, hey, this is what's going on. They said record it. So he recorded the female admit that she lied on him, that her mama made her set him up and fucked this man's life up, fucked up his career. Now, let's go to the California Department of Correction, right? We all know that black male are tried at a higher rate for actual, you get what I'm saying when I'm saying actual, just put an S in the front, for sexual offenses, right? But a lot of those cases are acquitted. A lot of those individuals are exonerated because then DNA proof comes in and say, hey, this motherfucker ain't really do this. So let's just say we on a prison yard and it's a homie that you know. Like, you know this nigga. This my nigga. Like, this my boy. This my partner. And cuz coming in with some shit like that. And cuz telling you like, listen, yay, man, that's on Wooty Woo Crip. That's on Wooty Woo Blood, man. Word is bond. I ain't do this. This is how I played out Wooty Woo. Here go my paperwork. This is what they tried me for. But this is really what happened. What do? You fully take the police account of what transpired and get cuz up off the yard? Or do you allow cuz to explain himself, hit the motherfucking phone and run his background, holler at some of his homies, do your research, and then make a decision whether or not cuz can stay? And the reason why I'm saying this, because you may go to a yard in the California Department of Correction where a person has been tried or took a deal, a plea deal for one of those cases, because ain't do it, cuz was innocent. It's going to be an investigation. Motherfuckers is going to do their research, and if 1 + 1 don't come back as 2, we gonna blast your ass up and get you the fuck up out of there, cuz. But when math ain't mathing and shit ain't adding up, we supposed to inflict bodily pain on this dude. We supposed to fuck this dude over because he got railroaded by a system that's been railroading us for over 200 motherfucking years. So before you come on here and make these generalization and these blanket statements about blacks do this and blacks allow that, use a motherfucking lie. But what blacks are going to do, we're going to do our research. We are not led by the police. We are not in a fucking partnership with the police like other organizations. Why do you think we always get the shit end of the stick? Why do you think when it's a race riot, it's a group disturbance and all this shit, when the police come to restore order, the first people that they subdue, that they hit with the chemical agents, that they shoot with the black gun is black folks. And we on this motherfucker fighting for our lives because there may be 15 blacks against 40, 50, 60 Hispanic. And a lot of these motherfuckers got weapons. But when the police come, when the correctional officers come, the first motherfuckers that they spray is us. So we really at a disadvantage now. We are not in partnership with any form of law enforcement as a collective in these California Departments of Corrections. There's certain organizations, I won't say this, that, and third, but there's certain organizations that have been in partnership with the police for decades now. How you think them older Crips was getting hit? Carl Smith, aka Shitty Smitty. It's Hispanic program. They letting him out for yard, whoop, and they pop his dope and they run up on him and poke him. It's been other situations like that. We are not collectively. Certain individuals may do things clandestinely. Certain individuals may do things secretly, in secrecy, but collectively, we are not in bed with any form of law enforcement. But let's get back into this weird ass nigga content. This nigga's a bitch.
That don't have no real love for you. They grew up in areas such as his where they don't have really any black fools, and when they do, there's always a certain sense of jealousy and a camaraderie in the head.
Wait, hold the fuck on, cuz. Let's run back what this bitch ass nigga just said, right? Let's run it back. Yeah, I'm calling cuz a bitch. Whatever's the consequences or the actions or the reactions or the rebuttaling, I don't give a fuck. Fuck this nigga. But I can't tell you how to feel. That's how I feel, cuz.
And a camaraderie in the hate of certain people. Now, I'm just gonna be honest. When it comes to being a black Southerner, yeah, you're up against it. You're always gonna be up against it just due to the fact of who you are and who you run with. But as far as like us being victims, that's never happened. Like the only time you really see I'm just gonna be honest. When it comes to being a black Southerner, when they do, there's always a certain sense such as his where they don't have really any black fools, and when they do, there's always a certain sense of jealousy and a camaraderie in the hate of certain.
This motherfucker just admitted that the mass majority of them is jealous of blacks. He just admitted it. This is a dude who's a Southsider, just so happened to be a black Southsider, and he's saying the same shit that we've been saying for years. They are jealous of us. So it's okay for you to say it because you didn't join rank and file with them, but when an individual like myself and other content creators come on here and say that they're jealous of it, nah, fool, they're not jealous of you fools are disorganized, you fools are this, you fools are that, you fools don't do this, you fools don't do that, you fools are blase, and them fools are. So if I say that they jealous of us, it get refuted, it get rejected. But when cuz say that they jealous of them, is it accepted? Or do it get met with the same type of resistance as if I'm saying or any other black social media influencers, content creators or like what's the deal? Does it have validity because cuz is saying it and he's a part of y'all rank and file? Or do it still get shot down? If he's a part of your organization and to a degree know the in and outs and the intricate functioning, the functionality of your organization. He's saying, hey, yeah, a lot of these motherfuckers is racist, and their racism is based on their jealousy of who we are or what I really am. Okay, let's get back into the content. Just wanted to drive that home.
The people. Now, I'm just gonna be honest. When it comes to being a black Southerner, yeah, you're up against it. You're always gonna be up against it, just due to the fact of who you are and who you run with. But as far as like us being victims, that's never happened. Like the only time you really see a black homie go out like crazy is usually it's the dudes from YA because they got a train of thought. Like
that's a motherfucking lie, boy. He's lying, and I'm going to prove to you that this motherfucker is lying. I'm going to prove to you that there's a lot of dirty politicking towards morenos, negros, blackies, negritos in the organization of the Sureños, the Southsiders. I'm going to prove it to you. So I'm going to dispel this myth that this dumb cocksucker motherfucker is putting out there. False narrative.
Fuck all my enemies, and I'm not listening to nobody. Like they're mostly wild, the white babies, but that's pretty much any homie. But a lot of black homies were with that type of issue, and those are usually the ones that end up crashing out when they're dealing with individuals such as him. Now, what dude failed to explain is it's individuals such as himself that be sending homies like me on missions because they don't really like us in the first place.
Like, I ain't even got to play it for you. He just said it. Dirty politicking. It's individuals like him that send homies like me on missions to crash out because they don't like us. Why don't they like you, nigga? Probably because you's a nigga. But this motherfucker didn't muster the audacity to come on here and try to belittle us and disrespect us as a people, saying that we all rapists that have these perverted fetishes for Chicana females. Chicana females, Latina females are now choosing up and they prefer to be with a black guy than their own people. See, the dynamics and the paradigms are shifting. If you can't catch up, they catch on, my nigga. It's been predicted by the year 2050 that over 70% or 70% of the population to be biracial, with one of those main races being black. By the year 2050. See, these Latina females, and shout out to these beautiful, amazing Latina females. We love y'all. We love y'all spiciness. We love that. You know what I mean? We love that about y'all. Yeah, motherfucking right. And when we get it, we get it. You understand what I'm saying? We get it in ways that a lot of other races can't give it to you. Like, it's a different experience when you're giving yourself to be intimate with a black guy. It's different. A lot of Chicanas, a lot of Latinas, they experience that. And when they experience that, they very seldomly go back to get Latino, lighter complected Latino, lighter complected Hispanic penis. They get that black DICK and they love it. They want to breathe with it. They want to hug it. They want to shove it all up in them, and they want to be as free as they can with that black Boomba snake. They love it. They fiend for it. And then when they look at the individuals that they was raised with, it's like you really don't have any swag. And the swag, and those amongst you who have swag, or they say that those amongst us who have swag, they are only doing is emulate and replicate what the blacks is doing. So the most desirable amongst you all is the ones who replicate, imitate, and emulate the fashion, the culture, the verbiage, the vernacular of black folks. And a lot of Chicanas, Latinas, they feel like, why would I pursue you when I can just go get me a black dude? And they do. And when they go get a black dude, they really enjoy the experience. So that's why they're projecting by the year 2050, 70% of the population to be biracial, with one of those main races, one of those main components, one of those main admixtures being black, African American, melanated, carbonated, whatever you choose to call it. So let's see what this clown got to say.
When it comes to the cities, Angeles have always been a certain way. They've always had a lot of black homies, so it's really nothing new. And for the majority of the time, it's real love there. They understand what it is to represent. Like I've went through the whole thing, like back in like the 90s, like it, you know, whatever came through, and you know, basically if you're a black homie and you're not gonna represent when you hit them higher levels, to just go ahead and step off now. And some neighborhoods took it upon themselves to jump their homies out. Like they didn't really give him a chance to, or a choice to see if he wanted to represent or not. It's just like, you know what, I don't want to deal with it. It's a blight on the neighborhood if this dude does decide to, you know what I mean? And a lot of Ottomans weren't having it. They're like, nah, if you've been running with us this long, there ain't no switching up, regardless if you haven't been to Y or camp and the county. Like, nah, you either represent, and some fools just didn't want to deal with it, so they courted their homies out. A lot of black homies had got courted out because of that, but then you had lots of such as myself that refused and literally told the homies, like, if you jump me out, I'm just gonna start the neighborhood again.
Man, shut the fuck up. Stockholm syndrome. You know how it's females out there that just need to belong. She never had a father. She never had anybody to give her a fraction of understanding or attention, right? So when you give her a fraction of it, she's enamored. She's mesmerized. She's captivated. No matter how disrespectfully you handle her or talk to her or treat her, she'll deal with that just to say that that's my God. That's my husband. That's my baby daddy. And that's what Cuz is going through. So when I tell you Cuz is a bitch, even if Cuz may be active, he's an active bitch. Even if Cuz know how to fight, he's just a bitch that know how to fight. That nigga's a bitch who's suffering from Stockholm syndrome. He's in love with his oppressors. If you caught me off, if you caught me off the video, then I'm gonna just go start my own video somewhere else and see how you, man, shut your bitch ass up. If they don't want you to be a part of their rank and file, pick up the pieces and get your bitch ass up out of there. Hang up your rag. Retire that shit. You would join a racist organization just to say, I belong here. Your stupid ass out of here, cuz. Let's get into some more content. How dare this motherfucker? And he thought it wasn't gonna be no consequences or repercussions or rebuttaling or none of that shit behind this bitch ass shit that this nigga said. Man, fuck that. We running content on this bitch ass nigga. This black on black crime, but a different kind. Let's get into this content, man. Let's see what's next. This is Sunny again. Check out this experience. This is how much they hate you.
My mouth. Tell everybody where I'm from. Hey, this is where I'm from. Boo, boo, boo. All right, that's it. I listen. I keep my mouth shut. Stay my own business.
What happens when you have a cellie? Let's say you're in a two-man cell in some prison yard, and you have a cellie that you just can't stand.
Oh, you tell them to leave, or you leave. Somebody gonna leave.
Somebody gotta leave.
Somebody gonna get out there. I've had a couple cellies that I didn't get along with, and I boop bopped them. We got busy, and the winter last. That was it.
And what does the CDC do at that point? They just find another cellie?
Yeah, but you go in there and make a cell request to move, and you find like a cell, and hey, I want to move with you, and then a lot of times the homies will just be like, hey, just swap with so and so. You get along with him good, anyways.
What's the worst cell roommate you ever had or situation?
Watch this.
You might not like this. I'll tell it, but you might not like this. It was some dude in I'm just gonna say the city of Paramount. We were in a drafting class, and he moved in with me, a youngster. And one day we were sitting there. It was me. There was only like 5 or 6 of us in the class at the time, drafting class. And a black had opened some cookies, and he offered me some. I told him, no, thank you.
And you turned it down because he was black, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
I turned it down because I'm black, so I'm gonna be completely honest.
Yeah.
He hands homeboy. Homeboy takes a piece and eats it. I just look at him. So we go back to the cell. I told him, hey, what are you doing? And he goes, well, what are you talking about? And I go, you know you ate from the black dude. And he goes, oh, nobody ever told me nothing. I go, dude, you're from Paramount. You're from LA County. You're going to tell me you didn't ever
Watch
heard that?
This, the racial programming.
And he goes, oh, wow. No,
Racist
dude,
programming.
get your crap. Go. You got to get out. So I made him move out.
So it's possible if he was about 18 years old, it's possible that he might not have understood that rule.
Not if he went to LA County.
Because look, Paramount's not too far from Compton, not too far from Linwood, and the blacks and the browns are pretty thick. And he was probably listening to rap music, you know.
No, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But if he went to LA County, that's one of the first things they tell you when you walk in. You don't eat with blacks. Period.
Now that's one rule. That's one regla that I disagree with. I understand it exists, but that's one rule that if I was ever in the penitentiary, and I'd probably get killed, but I'd probably say, I was like, this is one of the stupidest rules y'all got. I'm not abiding by this rule, and of course I probably get hit.
But see, and let's be honest, every rule that we have is raza. The blacks have the same rule.
Yeah, but I think that
to counter the rules that you have against us. So if you're saying you don't want to sit with me, motherfucker, I don't want to sit with you. So if you're saying you don't want to eat after me, motherfucker, I have no desire to eat after you. It's to counter their racial indoctrination of their members, their racial or their racist practices. We create that or respond to that with our own as a counter to what they're doing. We don't just wake up and say, cuz, you know what? Man, I don't want to eat after no motherfucking Mexicans, cuz. Cuz, fuck that, cuz. Hey, cuz, we politicking on that, cuz. We ain't eating after no Mexicans, cuz. All right, for sure, cuz, no more eating after Mexicans. We don't get down like that, cuz. We already got homies that we didn't ate over cuz house and all this and all that, and cuz and probably ate over our house, and they didn't had a fiesta, and they out there cooking carne asada and all this and all that, and we get a plate of some carne asada. And vice versa. We cooking ribs and hot links and hamburgers and all that, and they come over and eat and all that. But when we get in prison, when we get in these controlled environments, these institutions, they begin to reinforce the racial politics that they indoctrinate their kids with. That's why, and I always said this, homie, that's why it's so easy for them to switch on us when we was friends in elementary. Now we in junior high school. Now you saying puro su trece and you hate blacks. Or it's the first year of high school and now you super banged out cholo and you hate blacks. Hector, if you don't stop, my nigga, I done had sex with your sister. I done been over your house. Your mama called me mijo and all this and all that. Where the fuck these racial components come from? He had been indoctrinated since he was a kid. So that transition is easier for him than it is for us to process and understand how the fuck this nigga just transitioned from this to this. That's been part of their programming. This shit ain't nothing new. The mama probably be cool, but the Theo look at you like, it's fucking Mayate, dog. And you best believe when he got his nephew alone, you're like, what's up, dog? Hey, you a fucking Mayate fool? You a crib fool? Let me find out, dog. Let me find out, dog, that you claiming a black gang, dog. I'ma beat your ass, fool, serio. That's programming. That's part of the initial indoctrination. Yeah, dog, those vatos, they steal, fool. They do this. The same thing all this bitch ass nigga Neil Desire said is what they programmed their youth to believe. While our uncles, our cousins, our mamas, aunties, and all that, they don't program and teach us to be racist towards anybody. The only people that blacks teach their people to be racist against is one another. And that shit gotta stop. Let's get back into this content, cuz.
But we enforce it more than the blacks.
Blacks will probably have a less of a complaint of sharing food with a brown.
But they will. There are some blacks that will enforce it and say, hey, you're not supposed to be eating with it.
They probably enforce it because they know that Rasta's enforcing it that hard.
Right. So, and then the reason being is because the less interaction we have with a different race, the less problems it's going to cause.
That's a fallacy. You're a motherfucking lie. You what this nigga look like that motherfucking pig from Angry Birds, cuz. that green pig, that's what this motherfucker look like, the Angry Bird pig. But listen, cuz I digress. What cuz just said is a complete fucking lie. What this motherfucker just said was a lie. It's a lot of propaganda that they circulate towards our people. It's a lot of fallacies that they put out there on our people. This motherfucker said the less we interact with another race, the more it minimize any type of negative conflict. Y'all like this, like with the white boys. Y'all spread with the white boys. Y'all sit in the same at the same tables with the white boys. Y'all can work out on the same workout bars with the white boys. Oh, you thought it was over? Fuck no, cuz we got some more content. Let's get into it. Let me cue this up right here, man. Let's go right here. Let's dissect this bitch ass nigga content so you can see that he has a fetish. He has a fetish for us, cuz. He really want to be a... Oh, look. Let's check this out. What cuz say after he said, oh, no, it's not that. And this is an interview he did with Kev Mack.
Back to jail and prison. When you get there and you get with the Rasa, do they get...
Look at this motherfucker, cuz. I see why the motherfucking 2 P's and the B's didn't let you join rank. Look at you, man. You look fucking pathetic. Look at this motherfucker, man. Would you want this motherfucker representing your hood, cuz? This motherfucker couldn't represent no hood. Look at this dumb-faced motherfucker, man. Just sitting right there looking like a goddamn police informant or a goddamn undercover cop. Look at this cocksucker, man. I see why they called you weird and got me, told you, man, move around, you fucking weirdo. You walking around this motherfucker with doodle stains in your drawers, sagging with some goddamn the dun-da-duns on. Who the fuck sags with the dun-da-duns on? That mean your ass is showing. I see why they told you to kick rocks. This motherfucker crazy.
Give you the same respect as they give the Brown brothers?
You know what? I won't lie. Like it depends on who you're with. Like you'll have situations to where you'll run into cats that might at first. It really comes down to the respect level. If people like to weigh you to see where you're at with it. Like if they sense like you're a lame, then yeah, you're gonna get a lot of resistance. But with me, it's like I came in there already with a reputation of no nonsense. I've always been a fighter, so it's like it was good, you know what I mean? But I mean, there's situations to where it's issues, but I got ways to handle my business. So it's like, you know what I mean? You can't just fight anybody, but there's ways to go around getting it, you know what I mean? So yeah, but for the most part, like my role wasn't that hard. I mean, the county was something different, you know what I mean? The county is just shit.
So if you get into it with a Southsider, do you feel like you're up against
Pay
it
attention.
because
Listen.
of your skin color?
Not really. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it depends. Sometimes I've been in situations to where I feel like there's too many. Like, I'll get into...
Listen to what the fuck this dumb fuck saying. But he just did a video. Well, it wasn't recent, but he's saying, yeah, there is homies that have sent people who look like me because of the skin color. They're sending us on a mission to crash out because of... But now you saying the complete opposite. You're contradicting yourself. You fucking hypocrite. You gotta always watch a motherfucker that continuously contradict themselves. What you trying to hide? What you trying to conceal? What's really going on with you? See, that's those moments. What the fuck is really going on with you? You got some shit with you, boy. Let's get back into this weirdo's content. Shout out to Kev Mack videos.
With somebody, and then it'd be like too many like haters that we just don't click because they feel some type of way for whatever reason.
Come on, you know
I've always overcame obstacles. Like it don't matter who I'm against. Like if I gotta get it, I'm gonna just get it. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is.
Do you speak any Spanish?
Yeah, I'm not fluent, but I'm pretty good at it.
But you understand it.
All of it. Even no matter what Spanish it is, Salvadorian, Hondureños, whatever, like Puerto Ricans, well versed in it.
So you know Spanish?
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a situation around Southsiders and they assumed you didn't know Spanish?
Oh yeah.
And they said certain things.
I've been in situations to where dudes like, cause you got cats that act like they know what's up, but they don't. It'll be like they're barely getting busted, but they assume that they know something more than you do. So, you know, they won't take you serious. And then some fools have said things, but like I said, there's always a way to go about handling things. Like you can't disrespect me and I won't get mine. Just plain and simple.
But you're not black.
Spanish and their eyes get real big.
Yeah, a lot of fools. I've been around a situation where it's spice shots and they'll say something and I'll say something back and they'll be like,
look.
You know, I was español, like, yeah. Like, well, hey, I didn't mean it. Like, all right, don't trip. You know what I mean? It's like certain situations you can't get it right then and there, but I got a way of getting mine.
When the racial tension happens, in the words, the terms they use, mayate and cockroaches and all that, do you ever feel offended by that? Or do they tone it down because you're on deck?
You know what? Like I've seen fools say things when they're mad, and I'll just like leave it alone until I can address it myself. Because the whole thing is like,
wait, pause. Ain't this motherfucker Panamanian? If he's Panamanian from Panama, why is he getting offended by the word mayate, which is a derogatory term that's used to describe African Americans? If he's Panamanian from Panama, they have a derogatory term down there that they use for the Afro-Panamanians. Why is he getting offended by hearing the N-word with the ER? Some telling me this cocksucker's a fucking imposter. But let's get back into the content.
I can't just front a homie off in front of everybody like and snap. So it's like sometimes you gotta pull somebody aside and just let them know, like, hey, look, whatever issues you have with certain.
Hey, look, check this out, cuz in the California Youth Authority, I roll with some solid ass brothers called UBG. For those of you who have never heard of the UBG, that is United Black Guerrillas. And it was comprised of some guys that were some rider ass non-affiliates, Crips, Bloods, brothers from the Bay. And even though I'm a part of this organization, but my identity is also Crip, and a motherfucker say some shit that was derogatory towards Crip, oh no, I'm gonna holler at you. Yeah, we gonna dance, we gonna move some furniture. I'm not about to ask nobody for permission because you knew what you said was offensive towards me, because you know what I represent, you know who I am, you know what I am a part of. So a motherfucker gonna have to holler at you. That makes you look like a pussy. You take offense to the shit that they say when they say mayate, Junebug, cockroach, and nigger and all this type of shit. You like, man, get your bitch ass out of here. Let's get back into the content, cuz.
People, you need to keep that to yourself or tell them when you're in their face. Like, don't say it and ain't nobody around, because that's false energy. Keep that same energy when you run into these certain people.
Nah, they really know how. They really let you know how they feel about
it. And they'll be like, hey, Spencer, you know, and I'll be like, don't trip, just try to
get your bitch ass out of here, nigga. You's a foot soldier. You ain't saying no gangster reputable shit like that, nigga. They don't respect you, nigga. They don't fuck with you like that, nigga. The fuck? Hold on, I got some more videos. We gonna get into some content, cuz on Crip. Let's see what a ex-high-ranking, venerated, decorated Sorenio has to say about blacks joining ranks and so on and so forth. This is a very controversial dude. I feel like fuck this motherfucker as well. But I want to use this dude, Neil Tazad. I want to use his words against him. I want to use individuals who were members, whether past, present, members of the Sorenio movement, the Southside movement. I want to use their words to get this dumb motherfucker to see the reality and the actuality of what he's representing. Let's get into it, cuz without further ado, it's your boy, Dildo Dubs. Let them know what it is, Dildo Dubs. Take it away.
And he had been down. He had already, he had done a lot of things, and and I gravitated towards him. He was a cool ass dude, man, and I used to pick up game, soak up game from him, right? And I remember one day, some homies came on, they were clowning, they were like, "Hey, Holmes, hey, your homeboy Leroy's here, your homeboy Tyrone, and this and that, all the, trying to clown him." And he was like, "Who?" And they say, "Hey, you got a homeboy that rolled up in the he's on Fish Row right now, and he's black." And so they were clowning him, right? But clowning with him. I don't want to say clowning him because he wasn't somebody that you're just going to clown, but he liked to joke around. So they were joking around with him. And I was like, "What's up with that?" Eh? You know what I mean? The way they were getting at him. And he was like, "You know how the homies are." So when that vato got cleared to come out, I think it was the next day, because I don't remember that shit where you had to get cleared. What am I saying? I think it was the next day he hit yard, and the homie was like, let me rap to this vato real quick. So I followed him, but gave him a little distance, but I could hear everything, right? And he told the black dude, he was from Compton, Barrio Pobre, right? And he asked him, he said, "Hey, where you from?" And he told him, "I'm from Barrio Pobre." And he was like, "All right." And he said, "Hey, you're black, home, so I need to know right now today, are you going to roll with the homies? Are you going to roll with your people? Because this is your first day hitting the yard. You have to establish that right now." And he said, I'm rolling with the homies. I'm from my barrio. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a fuck. He said, "All right, cool." And the homie went and told the fellas, like, "Hey, nah, that's the homie. He's going to be treated like everybody else, this and that." Well, that's the theory, right? That's the theory. The reality is, and again, this is a touchy subject, man, but there was him, the black homie from Barrio Pobre, and there was another black homie from the Magicians.
Come on.
Right? And they were sent on a holiday together pretty quick. And it was just to get them off the yard, test their heart, but also they didn't want them on the yard. They didn't hit them, but they asked them, and if they would have said no, they would have hit them. But regardless, they went to the oil. And I'm not going to lie, the one from Barrio Pobre, I didn't like him. And it had nothing to do with his skin color. It had everything to do with his way of carrying himself. The one from the Magicians, I liked a lot. And so, yeah, they were sent on a holiday. And, a lot of times that's what happens when blacks run with the South. They have to be tested. That's the way.
Watch live sports with no hidden fees or long-term contracts with YouTube TV.
Way Walters look at it, they got to be tested. Now, I want to get into a term, and this will probably be the only time I'll talk about this. And there's going to be people that are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. I only speak from my experiences, my conversations, and what I saw and heard personally. I hear people talking about black sureños.
Let them know, Dubs.
I've never heard of that in the joint.
Me either. Like Southside.
In the shoe, I know for a fact what I was told regarding that.
Right. Okay.
And that's why I've always said, I've heard of black Southsiders. There's black dudes from barrios. But the title, sureño, I'm not going to get into it. Those people that are in the know, no.
Right.
That title is earned. And when you earn that title, it comes with obligations. It's a stepping stone to being something else in the criminal world. And no blacks can make that final. No blacks can ever make that final step. So if they can't make the final step, how would anybody believe they can make the first step? No blacks can ever make that final step. So if they can't make the final step, no blacks can ever make that final.
Wait the fuck up. So you mean to tell me that this motherfucker named Zil Zai, you mean to tell me that this motherfucker is condemned to always being a mission boy, even though this motherfucker damn near 50 years old? If he does reoffend and go back into these correctional institutions, he has the same rights and he has the same privileges as a little homie? No, come on, Dubs. Tell me that ain't so, cuz. So you mean to tell me that this motherfucker has sacrificed it all, put it all on the line, and he can't bump up, he can't get a promotion? So this motherfucker is condemned to being an entry-level member. There's no progression for this motherfucker. Oh man, that's crazy, cuz. That's crazy, cuz. Oh my God. Let's get back into the content. Now we understand. Yeah, now we're getting a better understanding of this motherfucker named Neil Tazad.
Step. So if they can't make the final step, how would anybody believe they can make the first step?
Right.
If you know what I mean, you know what I mean.
I got you, Dubs. I rarely agree with you, but I got you on that.
I'll tell you something too. I remember there was in Pelican Bay. I got out of the shoe, and this is when there were still llaveros, but llaveros always had their mesa. They had their we'll call it a committee of heads that they would run things across. You know, when they have a decision to make, at the end of the day, it was a llavero's decision, but he had his people with him. Call them your war council, whatever you want to call them. We don't use those terms, but I'm trying to just say it where people could understand. You pick their brain. Hey, Holmes, you know, this is what's going on, this and that. And somebody had left this guy's crew. Went, I don't know if he transferred or whatever. So he had an opening. And he chose, because he didn't see this individual by this color of her skin, but he chose a black homie from Lennox to sit with him and discuss matters with. And this person was going to be, as all of them were, recognized as having influence and authority on the facility, right? That position for that dude lasted probably 2 hours because there was a silent uproar. Just as I told you in the story about the white dude that was running things in the oil, there were people that were adamant. A black dude cannot speak for our people. That's not going to happen. That's going to get you whacked. This is what people were telling the llavero.
I'm going to end it right there, cuz. I'm going to end it right there. And I want to speak to this. FamWest TV, FamWest_TV2 says, he's lying though, because there are high-ranking black Southerners. No, the fuck it ain't. Southerner, yeah. Southsider, a high-ranking black Southsider, yes. Not Sureño. It's a difference. It's a distinction, a major distinction between a Southsider and a Sureño. When they give you all the accolades and acknowledgement of being a Sureño, that means you're in position to potentially elevate, get a promotion, and become something greater in that organization. So you may have some black Southsiders that have a little recognition and a little words in that organization, but they're not black Sureños. They'll never be able to call a dog. How many, and listen, cuz, to all my niggas that been in the county jail on Eastside PJ Crip, when it's potentially about to go up with the Mexicans, right? How many of y'all been in a dorm to where when we do conflict resolution or mediation to mitigate, the circumstances from being exasperated and going into some full-fledged, escalating into some full-fledged gangster shit? How many of y'all then did conflict resolution or they had these meetings and you sat down and you talked to a black? Oh, wait. How many of y'all done seen or heard about a black talking to a black Southsider about conflict resolution or addressing a race-related problem or addressing something that has happened in that facility and trying to see what would be a reasonable means of moving forward. Whether we kick this motherfucker off or whether you talk to your homie, I talk to my homie, I move my homie over here or you move your homie over there. How many of y'all have ever talked to a black in that position? Not damn another motherfucker. Because they don't roll like that, cuz. Can't no black Southsiders call no motherfucking dogs or have a voice or a valid opinion in serious matters as it pertains to Sureños and Southsiders. The Southsiders, those are like foot soldiers. That's entry level. The Sureños, those are like the capos before they get promoted or don't get promoted into being something else. I disagree with you on that FamWest_TV too. I have never seen a black person that's a part of the Sioux have any type of real influence on PJ Crip. Not even in the California Youth Authority. And the California Youth Authority, the black Sureños, Southsiders, they went along to get along. They shut the fuck up and they did what was requested and asked of them. And this is the truth. But I got some more content I want y'all to get into. Let's get them likes up and show appreciation for the content. Man, I appreciate you, Heedy. What's the dinner there, man? That's my player partner, man. I love that thing on PJ Crip. That's my guy right there, man. Yeah, man, y'all get these motherfucking likes up if you don't mind, man. Help a player that's trying to help a player. Nah, but let's get a little bit deeper into this content. I ain't gonna hold y'all for that much longer, cuz I just want to expose this suck ass nigga named Neil Tazad or Zais, whatever the fuck his name is. Right here. Listen to this. This is some brothers, though.
Ever, and they are not. That you will find hella. Get up here and act like we not one of the most accepting communities ever.
Because we are.
That you will find hella Mexicans that's from black hoods, and there's a reason that it's very, very niche to be a black Southsider. And you don't see that every day. And if you ask any black Southsider, nigga, if they went through some racial shit, they gonna tell you, hell yeah, nigga. You can't get up here and act like we not one of the most.
And I just showed you proof of that. Wait, hold on, cuz. Let's go to this motherfucker page so I can show you his obsession with us. His obsession is too deep. It's too deeply rooted. And it's kind of scary, man. It's kind of scary how obsessed this dude is with African-American males. Let's go to his content. Let's go to his videos. I don't want to listen to that bullshit ass song. That shit is garbage. On PJ, that nigga music is garbage. All right, so this is why blacks and Mexicans are not allies. He got some shit that he did with Glasses Malone. You say free them. Why? Whack 100 got some shit about Whack 100. Stay out of California business. What in the Django is happening on No Jumper? That sounds like some racist shit. He got some shit about Brick Baby. He got some shit about, I don't know, a guilty by association, Sirius in LA. He got some shit about Big U. He got some shit about Adam 22 and his crash out content creators and CIs. Bitch ass nigga must have been watching my shit. He got some shit about Aaron the plumber. He got some shit about Faux Extra. What else? You can't be mad at blacks and cholos for not showing up. Some more content about blacks. Black lady on TikTok telling immigrants nearly more shit about blacks. Some shit about J Hood, more shit about blacks. Drex is the joint and him being racist and all that type of shit. Let's see. When black Southsiders lied to kick it, Okay. He took a little break. Took a little break. Whack 100 got some more shit about Whack. Got some more shit about Whack. Another story about Whack. More content about Whack. Los Angeles versus Chicago. Is that a real thing? We ain't even about to create no shit like that. And you ain't even in no position to even address or expound upon a potential topic of anything that pertains to Black Chicagoans and Black Angelinos. Man, get your bitch ass out of here trying to create division, further division, or create division in between us and our brothers from Chicago. We ain't accepting it. We ain't allowing that. Sit your bitch ass down. Street peace between North and South would never. Oh yeah, let's get into this, cuz I think this one that Rasa was cussing his stupid ass out, and they have to remind him, hey, you're not Rasa, homie, so you can't speak on this. Let's see, cuz let's get into these comments. Fuck the content. Let's just jump into these comments. All right, a cat named Still Brazy 44 says this dude's a security guard talking about street shit. Go walk the parking lot. Haters like you keep the division lame. This is a person who's a part of the Raza. This is a person who is either Chicano, Mexicano, so on and so forth. He said haters like Neil Tazad is the type that keeps division. They called him a lame. Let me see. This is a watermelon stealing coon talking some coon ass shit. Let me see, man. Somebody, a Hispanic guy, said this is an individual with a small-minded mentality. He would never get the big picture. Somebody calling him Officer Zod. We're gonna have to come back because this is a lot of content. This is a lot of comments on this shit, and I'm gonna have to scan through them and get all the ones where they have to give them a reality check that at the end of the day, your opinion in regards to a peace treaty between the North and the South is irrelevant because you're Black. They have to remind cuz that he's still, oh shit, y'all couldn't even see it. My bad. I thought I shared my screen. Spencer, fool. My bad, dog. Neil Tazai used to be a blood. Yeah, they didn't establish that. They got him in current pictures, updated recent pictures, chunking up the chunky B with a red hat on. It wasn't a P for Sunland Park, whatever. It wasn't a P. It was a B. And he threw that motherfucker up chunky with a flaming red hat on. So most definitely, Neil Tazad has self-hate within himself. Most definitely. Neil Tazad does this shit for content. Dude has no schooling whatsoever. Danny Boy Got You says, Bobby, yay, where you from? Man, I'm from Eastside PJ Wash Crip, cuz. I'm from California. I'm from West Los Angeles. That's where I'm from, my dude. You must be new to the content. You must be new to my channel and all this and all that. But I'm from PJ Wash, homie. I'm from up out of Watts. Ice Pick say a very scary obsession. These, I ain't gonna say that because I try not to be racist in my content. I just in my life. You feel what I'm saying? Because I understand that these individuals actually come from us. That they still possess Black DNA. That's why they vibrate to the frequency that we vibrate to. That's why they try to emulate and replicate all the shit that we do. Even if you just study the history of Mexico, they had Black presidents, they had Black mayors, Black lawyers. Even when you get into what does Cinco de Mayo really signify? Do y'all know what Cinco de Mayo is? That's really a holiday for us. If you don't believe me, let's get into some motherfucking content, cuz don't take my word for it when you can do the research yourself. Here we go right here on Crib. We're gonna get into it. Give me a minute to pull this up. Let me show you this. Let me expose you to this. Because they be, you know, big talking Cinco de Mayo, this, that, and third, and so on and so forth. Man, that's one of our holidays. Hold on. Where you at, cuz? Boom, right here. We're going to go right there. Click that. Go right here. Y'all just bear with me. Bear with your player partner. Boom, right here. Let me share this with you. The real origin of Cinco de Mayo. So never, ever will I ever say that black people should not be celebrating Cinco de Mayo. Get out there, have some motherfucking margaritas, eat a lot of motherfucking mole, some fucking carne asada, drink some fucking horchata till your stomach hurt. Celebrate. That's a part of our heritage. That's a part of our story. That's a part of our history as well. If you don't believe me, let me give it to you from the perspective, the experience, and the knowledge of a female who just so happened to be Hispanic. Let's get into it. I ain't gonna lie to you. Shit just too real.
Did you guys know that Cinco de Mayo is also part of your fight? And to my fellow
don't fucking do that now.
Some of you guys want to celebrate our culture, but stay quiet on
Don't fucking do that now.
blackness. When Cinco de Mayo is a proven factor of what happens when
are you fucking serious?
When we unite and come together. Cinco de Mayo is not Mexican Independence Day, but it is a huge battle and a huge win for Black and Mexican.
The city of Puebla.
History. We unite as one and call it Mexican history. In 1862, La Batalla de Puebla, 33 years after
the Battle of Puebla,
Mexico became a country and it abolished slavery. The French military,
God damn it, man,
led by Napoleon, decided to go find more slaves. So they went to a nearby town called Puebla. Puebla was heavily populated by Afro-Mexicans and indigenous Mexicans. Now, this is during the time that a lot of the Black slaves were fleeing to the south.
I'm gonna end it there because I am experiencing some technical difficulties. But Cinco de Mayo is a holiday for you to celebrate as well. It's part of our heritage. It's part of our history. It's part of our ancestors. Marvelous Minds, Indigenous DNA. Hey, shout out to Marvelous Mind, man. I got a lot of respect for that brother, man. Shout out to Cuz. Hopefully we can do some content with one another. But without further ado, man, I have to get up off this thing, man. I got to go handle some business. It's in Las Vegas, man. I'm in Las Vegas, man. It was raining last night. Now that motherfucking sun coming up. It's about 110 degrees right now. Now I'm just over exaggerating now. But it's hot as a motherfucker, man. And I got some shit that I got to get into, man. I appreciate all you amazing individuals tuning in to hear me get on here and share my points of views and hold individuals accountable that comes after our people. Like, fuck that, homie. No longer do I wish to engage or have a desire to engage in these battle of wits or these disagreements with our people when it's individuals that's sitting back watching us and want to weaponize our content to say they're disunified. They're like animals. They're this. They're that. Nah, no more of that. Juneteenth is coming up. We need to put our heads together, man, to see who we going to support that's putting on a big celebration or a big event for Juneteenth, or let's get together, put some money in a pot, and create our own motherfucking Juneteenth celebration. So, without further ado, man, I'm about to get up off this thing, man. I appreciate all of you amazing individuals for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and do the woo-wop. You feel what I'm saying? Like, help me get them motherfucking numbers up. Help me stay in the algorithm and all that. And I'm gonna continue to bring you fire-ass content, man. Y'all stay up and be blessed. It's your player upon the WWJ, like I always say. 2 Black